What's up, witches? Cheers. Happy day to you. Thanks for coming to my channel. I'm Luna. I'm the Zen Witch. I'm here for another unboxing. Today, we are looking at the Earth Magic Oracle. I got this when Hay House had a fabulous sale, 50% off. I got this the same time I got the Starseed. If you haven't seen the unboxing of the Starseed, go check it out. Just dropped a couple of days ago. These are by Stephen D. Farmer, a 48-card deck and guidebook. Look at that beautiful artwork. It's not popping in. There we go. Hard to pop in because it's very shiny. Okay, Oracle cards, Hay House, Stephen D. Farmer. Earth Magic Oracle cards. The Earth speaks to us in many ways through the spirits of her various elements. In this deck of 48 Oracle cards created by Stephen D. Farmer, you'll find descriptions and images of many of these Earth elements, along with clear and concise messages from the spirits of each. Through the use of these cards, you'll uncover sensible advice that will provide guidance for questions you may have about any aspect of your life. The enclosed guidebook includes easy-to-follow instructions as well as expanded descriptions and messages for each card, allowing you to give yourself and others accurate, meaningful readings. Cover design, Amy Rose Gregoriou. Cover art, Helena Nelson-Reed. So this is telling me that we've got a different artist. That Stephen D. Farmer is not the artist. Let's figure it out here. This is copyright 2010. Really? So it's been out a while. Published by Hay House. Editorial. So we don't have artist names here. For the love of Mother Earth and all her children. Instructions on working with the cards. General meanings. Let me see here. This guidebook gives you instructions for conducting accurate oracle card readings for yourself and others. It includes descriptions inspired by the earth element portrayed in each of the cards, plus a message influenced by the theme that corresponds with the image. Learning how to work with these cards is easy. You'll receive advice and wisdom that come from the collaboration between your intuitive self and the spirit of the earth. Stephen D. Farmer, Ph.D., is a soul healer, shamanic practitioner, ordained minister, and licensed psychotherapist. He's the author of numerous books and card decks and is the host of his own radio show, Earth Magic Radio, on contacttalkradio.com. He makes his home in Laguna Beach, California. drstephenfarmer.com. Cover design, Gregor. Okay, so I'm still looking for artists, folks. Published in Australia. Hay House, Hay House, Hay House. There's no... Aha! Illustration credits. So this is a many artists deck. Wow. So it goes through like all of the cards and says who the artist is. Jeremy Donovan, Angel Ortiz, Garret Moore, Cynthia Re Robbins, Tron, Ken Bushe, Gilbert Williams, Lindsay Gardam, Walfrido, Gabriel Lueders, Jeremy Donovan. Okay, so Jeremy Donovan has showed up twice. So there's just a number of artists here. Perhaps I will list them all. We'll see. All right, let's look at the cards. Look at the backs. Isn't that beautiful? They are directional, so we have a light side and a dark side. I like that. So, you could certainly do them reversed. You'd be able to tell that they're reversed. We'll find out if there are reversed meanings in the book. And I'm very interested in the fact that he's a psychotherapist. So I think we can look forward to some things with this deck. Okay, ancestors, generations. So one assumes these are in alphabetical order. Very Australian Aboriginal images there with the hands and the snake. Autumnal equinox release. So yeah, we have you can see different art styles. Autumnal equinox, yeah, it's autumn right now. I have long sleeves on. I've been putting socks on every day. I love long sleeves and socks. I hope you like fall. Cave is sanctuary. So yeah, I mean, a lot of variety. This is nice. Ceremony is invocation. And we have, not only the name of the card, which you can get a lot of information from, but also a keyword. They're doing ceremony. Look at that torso in the background. The heck's that about? Basket, drums. Yeah, that's got all the things of ceremony for me, except for the torso. I don't normally have torsos as part of my rituals. Childhood is innocence. Clouds, shape-shifting. Ooh, great imagery. Crystals. Oh, look at that. This reminds me, there are pictures of a wisteria forest, like in Japan, where they have everything trained up over in an archway, and you just walk under this canopy of purple wisteria. Wow. Dance is celebration, multicultural. Thank you very much. Dawn, new beginnings. Desert vision quest. Dragonfly, emergence. Look at that. That's beautiful. This looks like it might be the artist of the front. Maybe. Maybe not. Okay. DNA is karma. I've never really associated karma with DNA before. That bears some thinking about. Interesting, because there's this thing coming from a psychotherapist. That we know that there are generational family issues that get passed down through the generations, whether it's overt or not, whether it skips a generation or not. There's like family trauma, and how else would that get passed down than through your DNA? Certain predispositions to disorders and things, until somebody recognizes that pattern, heals it, and thus, so doing, stops that karmic wheel and turns it the other way. So, fascinating. All right. Dreamtime is creation. Ooh, look at that. Definitely Aboriginal. Eagle, communion. Ooh. Strongly Native American. Fairies are earth magic. Fire, passion. I love the diversity in this deck. Fog is veiled. Neptune. Forest is breath. Wow, does that make sense? I like this deck. Full moon is completion. Gaia, nurturing. Look how beautiful that is. Oh my. Look at the abundance. Look at all the creatures in her hair. With her hands down. Can I have this wall size, please? I want to wake up and see this. I want to see Gaia pouring her abundance when I wake up every day. Green man, synergy. Where is he? This is an interesting image. Very much different art style. And green man, I don't see... They're not anthropomorphizing him, so it's called green man, but we don't see like an image of a man. We just see this green kind of mess. It's certainly very active. So synergy. Iceberg, submerged. Shout out to all the Scorpios. Island, solitude. Another shout out to the Scorpios. Lake, stillness. Got a couple little I Ching vibes out of this. Lightning, power. Lotus flower is unfoldment. Very, very consistent, good matching of the keywords with the image. I gotta say, love, compassion. Meadow, vulnerability. Looking at the vulnerability of an ecosystem and the fact that every part has to be there to play its part, or the whole thing can collapse. I'm digging that. Milky Way is perspective. Yeah. Wow. Good job, Stephen. Mountain is strength. Music, harmony. Thank you for putting music in. I want to see a music deck. I think that would be a fabulous thing. Oracle or Tarot, it would be great to have a music deck. I mean, a Tarot could be like, one could be aerophone and chordophone and membranophone and ooh. I might have to write something down here. Harmony, new moon is promise. Yeah. Ocean, ebb and flow. Rain, purification. Rainbow is blessings. Yay. River is movement. Shaman, ancient healing wisdom. Spring equinox, there's the image from the front of the box. So when it says cover art design, that's the artist for this card. Or cover illustration, I think it said, whatever. Spring equinox, rebirth. Stone people, vigilance. So good, so congruent. Summer solstice is radiance. The tree, that's the card back, is grounding. So this is a depiction actually of roots going down, kind of a subterranean thing. Tsunami, wake-up call. Wow. Volcano, volatility. Waterfall is effortless. Whale, breach. I'll be interested to see what that one says. Wind is activation. Winter solstice, reflection. Wolf is instinct. And then we're back to ancestors. Wow-wee. So far, so good. Let's take a look at the book. Okay. It's a chunky little book. So very little, well, 15 pages worth. Instructions for working with the Earth Magic Oracle cards. The world speaks to us. We just need to learn how to become better listeners. Absolutely. Preparing a new deck of cards. So there's instruction there. Storing your cards. Oracle card readings. Let's look at storing. Your cards are sensitive tools and they can easily absorb other energies. For that reason, it's best to store them appropriately. Keep the deck in a velvet or leather pouch, in a carved wooden box or some other special container. The cards can also be set on your altar in order to give and receive blessings and healing energy. If you wish, you can place a totem of a favored spirit animal on top of your cards and call upon that spirit animal to protect your deck from any unwanted energy. Now, the velvet or leather is kind of interesting because, of course, the tradition with tarot is natural fibers: silk, cotton, linen, wool. Anything that is not a synthetic fiber. Velvet, any velvet you get is going to be synthetic fibers, probably. So, it's very, you don't get silk velvet anymore, really, unless you want to pay a shit ton of money. So, and leather is weird because that's an animal product. I mean, I don't have an issue with that, but I just think of, guarding it from other energies. I mean, silk is an animal product as well, but it doesn't entail the death of the animal. So yeah, just get comments there. Let's go back. Storing oracle card readings. We have contemplation. Landscape is a 3-card. Timeline is a 3-card. Relationship is a 4-card. The cross for guidance on a specific issue. And then we have the general meanings of the cards. All right, let's look up whale. Breach. This powerful creature of the ocean takes a few great sweeps with his fins and propels himself briefly out of the waters where he spends the majority of his life. He's taking a break from the ordinary earth element in which he lives to exist even for a few moments in the realm of blue skies and sun, having broken through the skin of the ocean in a magnificent display of fullness and strength. All baleen whales breach, but none more spectacularly than the humpbacks, considered the acrobats of this family. They arch, stretch, and twist their bodies even as they approach the surface of the water in what may be an ancient mating ritual, a form of communication, or even a way to remove parasites. In this image, the humpback whale that has burst out of the ocean expresses an almost palpable feeling of release and joy. Often when we manage to change our environment, to break through illusory blockages, we experience an intense feeling of relief and can let go of any previously held fears and assumptions of what would happen once we did overcome that barrier, whether it's material, emotional, or mental. Simply getting away from the trance of technology for a few hours and spending that time in nature is a breach from the trappings of civilization that can suffocate us and prevent us from connecting to Earth. Wow, that's rich. That is so very rich. I'm loving this deck. It is time to take a break. So that's in regular font. This is in italics. So this is the actual message. There's the description, the message. It is time to take a break, not just a coffee break, but a respite from the usual environment you find yourself in. That trip you wanted to take, go for it. Tired of being indoors? Make it a point to get outside. You've become so attached to your surroundings that you've created with them an illusion of safety. Oh my God, is this hitting me hard? Yet it is not these things that make you feel safe. Rather, the familiarity you've imbued in your surroundings have generated this false sense of security. I feel so called out right now. Taking time away from the familiar is literally about changing your external environment in a significant way, such as doing something unusual or perhaps something you've always wanted to experience. Another perspective is breaking through the barrier of beliefs that have constricted you in any way from being who you truly are. This is your opportunity to do some intentional breaching of these thought patterns, which will open you to different worlds and perspectives. Okay, here's what this is calling me out so hard. I've been really struggling with depression lately. It's there. And, with lifelong depression and all of the work that I've done, I continue to function. I get out of bed. I do my prayers. We have, good food every day. I'm taking care of the cleaning and keep, things very close to me. So I keep myself clean. I keep my clothes clean. I'm keeping things, tidy and in order. But the big stuff, the projects, the changes that I want to, bring in and big stuff that needs to be done around the house, I have not been able to do. Plus, I've had just a horrible time leaving the house. Just a bad, bad time. I am holed up for sure. And part of that is because our county just went on red alert for the number of new cases that we've had around us of COVID. So I'm just holding up. Plus, we're under just shit tons of stress, as usual. So this is calling me out for that. But today, especially, this is a card that I picked to look at. I am planning to go down and dismantle my sewing shop. I haven't sewn masks for over a month. And, my dining room has been taken over by a sweatshop. So I'm dismantling it and taking everything up to the spare room. So there's going to be some big things moving. This is my breach day. I am breaching what I've been in. I've kind of been underwater, and I'm going to breach, and we're going to catalyze a whole bunch of changes. Also going on, they are ripping apart our kitchen because our pipes have been irreparably clogged and they're replacing pipe and all this stuff. So there's all kinds of things going on today there. So yeah, man, this card is ringing my bell. Let's see how this deck shuffles. Let's have some coffee. Cheers, everybody. Delightful. And I love it when I do, I bought this along with Starseed Oracle, and both of those decks are just like ding, ding, ding. So what a joy. And they shuffle beautifully. Thank you, Hay House. They do stick a little bit. They've got that plastic coating that kind of gives them traction, so they don't slip against each other. But it's few enough cards. And does it say how many? 48. There's 48 cards here. Few enough that you can shuffle them easily. They do bend. So hooray for that. And, it kind of blows my mind that I haven't heard of this oracle. I've probably seen it a million times. It's like Earth Magic, blah, blah, nothing jumped out at me, but wow. All right, so, pause. Allies and ancestors, guides and guardians, please come in. Please speak through me. Let us be connected right now. I offer, yay, still going. I offer fresh water. I offer the fire of Azrael, and ask that you be a true oracle and bring us meaningful information. All right. Whoops. What do we need to do today? What do we need to do on this day, at this time I'm watching this video? What do I need to do to move beyond survival and truly thrive in my life, in my circumstances? All right, they're telling me stop. We're going to do this one first. Okay. What do we need to do? We need to bust out of our routine. We need to bust out of our doldrums. We need to take a joyful leap into something different. We need to change our routine and bring an infusion of joy. Does that mean going for a long drive? Does that mean, wearing makeup when you usually don't, not wearing makeup when you usually do, playing intensely? What does that mean? Woo! What are we going to jump? How are we going to jump and break free of our usual today? And that makes the reading shorter because I already read that whole thing. Then solitude. And then we need to balance that with spending time with ourselves, deep time with ourselves. I mean, I'm looking at the waters here. Deep time. And this is showing an island, so still up out of the waters. This is leaping up out of the waters for a brief time and then back down in. This is spending some time surrounded by that water, which puts distance between us and everybody else. So deep solitude, time to reconnect with yourself, and then Gaia, nurturing. Make sure you're feeding your soul good food, good experiences. Feed your ears, feed your senses, All right, let's read. So easy to read from this deck. I am excited. And this means, too, I've been going through my lists and identifying like my top 10 and top 5. And it's such a fluid thing because obviously new things come in like this, but it's one of these where hands down, you get a deck like this and it's like, oh, hell yeah, automatically one of my favorites. And the ease, it's the ease that you don't have to sit and think, what could that, and try to fit. It's just like, bam, here's the information. The solitary tree on this island surrounded by the glassy sea can evoke different feelings depending on one's perception and beliefs. The tree, which is in full blossom, stands out amid the relative starkness. Yep, this beautiful blooming tree. And is illuminated by a beam of light emerging from the otherwise dark sky. It's an elegant reminder of how even in what might appear to be relatively barren circumstances, there is still beauty and growth. Yeah, although an island like this can be a metaphor for isolation and desolation, the thriving tree proves that even in the harshest of environments, there is life. We can see, and that life is you. Even when you feel like you're in a wasteland, that spark of life is you, and that's worth celebrating. We can see the tree's spider-like roots spreading out among the rocks, seeking nourishment from the moist soil. The sense of peace and solitude depicted in this image provides nourishment for the soul. Indeed. You need to take some time. Can you hear that? That's Mitchell. That's Mitchell squeaking. Oh my God. You need to take time for some solitude. He's upset because they're doing all this noisy stuff downstairs. You need to take some time for solitude, preferably in silence. Spend the morning, afternoon, or even the entire day by yourself. If only. Completely unplanned and unstructured. The bombardment of your senses by the noise and intensity of society leaves you on alert far more than is necessary. The vibration of millions of people's worry and fear throughout the world can impinge upon you and greatly affect you if you do not honor your need to pull back from time to time. When you have passed through any self-constructed barriers to enjoying the quiet peace of solitude, it will serve you best if you simply observe the thoughts and emotions that pass through you, especially those that cause shortness of breath or a quickening heartbeat. Remember that isolation is experienced not by choice but out of fear. When you decide to spend time with yourself in solitude, however, you are choosing to once again find and connect with who you really are. Wow, so we are differentiating isolation from solitude. Isolation, he rightly defines as out of fear, as trauma-based. And there was something that came across my feed the other day that said isolation is, comes out of trauma, being isolationist. is trauma induced, and that is absolutely my case. From being left to cry as an infant and learning to comfort myself when things get harsh, I just back up and it's like, that's okay, I'll take care of myself, I don't need any of y'all. That's not healthy. Solitude is healthy. Solitude is, I am strongly connected to my family, my core family, my wider family, my dear friends. We reach out to each other regularly. And, there's a deep, intimate connection. But solitude is this choice of, I need psychic free space around me. This is what solitude is about for me, as an empath, as a highly sensitive person. And you, as an empath, particularly, if you're a reader, a sensitive, we need to get psychic free space around us every once in a while. When you're an empath, you pick up people's physical feelings. Emotions are physical things. So you're constantly picking up their feelings. I pick up people's physical symptoms. And it was a grand day when I discovered this, that, why is this hurting? And my husband saying, oh, my shoulder's been hurting all day or whatever. It's like, okay, can you keep that to yourself? So I got in the habit of, when I'm experiencing a physical symptom, stopping and saying, does anybody have this? Is anybody going through this today, and why? And that helps me go, oh, this isn't mine, and then I can just leave it aside. So solitude is different than isolation. Isolation is a self-protective, trauma-based thing. There's a coldness about it. Solitude has a warmth to it, that you are choosing to be alone with yourself in order to nurture yourself, not to wall yourself off from experience. Wow. These cards just start the flow. I have the experience when I'm really reading of being a channel, of not knowing the words that are going to come out of my mouth until I hear them coming out of my mouth. And then I'm thinking, that's true. Wow, that's true. And I get goosebumps. This card is really catalyzing that process. And I love them so much. I can't tell you how happy I am right now. Can you tell? Do I have to tell you? Okay, Gaia, nurturing. Earth Mother, Mother Goddess, Great Goddess, Terra Mater, and Gaia. In the Greek pantheon, this magnificent being was Earth personified as a goddess. Daughter of chaos, she was the mother and wife of Uranus, which is heaven. It is her body that we walk upon every day, and the substance of our own bodies is the substance of hers. This sounds like me talking in ritual. It's from Gaia that we receive everything we need for survival, which she provides for us abundantly, nurturing our body, mind, and soul. She nurtures our bodies by offering the fruit of the trees, the greens from the earth, and the air that we breathe, and the water that we drink. She nurtures our minds through her awesome physical and dynamic beauty, and as depicted in this card, by the amazing colorfulness and diversity of the world she's constantly creating and recreating. She nurtures our souls by caressing us with her blessings each day and challenging us to be better humans through her response to our attentions and intentions. Receiving can be a sacred act of your intention. Receiving can be a sacred act if your intention is to honor spirit. It can be a sacred act anyway. Somebody is giving to you. You are giving them the opportunity to give. That's a sacred thing. When you receive humbly and truly, instead of, oh, you don't need to do that, I don't deserve this, you shouldn't do, don't negate somebody else's gifting to you. Don't negate somebody else's generosity. Be generous to them by receiving openly and humbly. Again, these things just trigger. It is as holy as giving when performed with a humble and open heart. Duh, I just used the words humble and open. Oh my God. This is even truer when receiving much needed nurturing. So let others give to you. It may be a stretch to do so at times because of childhood conditioning, but that habit can be overcome. Your wounds can be healed. One way to achieve this is to nurture yourself and allow others to nurture you. Consider the actions you take that are self-nurturing. What comes to your mind when you really think about doing beneficial things for yourself? And do you should all over yourself when you think of this? I should take vitamins. I should take that. Do. Don't should. Do. Do. Not should. Okay, so that was weird. The things that you know will make you healthier. Give these to yourself. Gift yourself with these things rather than I should, and set it up in a way that you actually do it. So if you know that you would benefit from taking vitamins and supplements every day and yet it just isn't important enough for you to accomplish, make it a project. I am going to, if you know what you need to take, okay, I'm going to buy this. Buy yourself a fucking pill box with the days, morning, afternoon, night, whatever, and put your things in that box and set an alarm on your phone so you don't have to think about it anymore. These daily things that should be habitual, you shouldn't have to decide on every day. You shouldn't. So set it up to be habitual. Set it up so you don't have to think about what do I have to do today, so that you have reminders that just, okay, time to do that, and you do it and you're done. Okay? Make it easy on yourself. That's a part of self-care too, is making your self-care easy on yourself. And remember, it takes at least 2 weeks to build a habit, more like 4 to 6. So give yourself a time to institute a new habit one at a time. It can be one at a time, but make it easy on yourself. Okay. Set aside your ritualized habits and beliefs that restrict the pure act of allowing your body, heart, and soul to be nurtured. Lie on the earth and ask Gaia to rock you in her bosom as you breathe with her and relax into her loving care. Yeah. Imagine yourself in the lap of mommy. Imagine yourself, if you can remember being held by your mother or somebody when you were small, and just that all-encompassing feeling of arms and the softness, the warmth, the heartbeat. And imagine that. I wish there was a lap big enough for me to crawl into as an adult and feel that all-encompassing sense of being held. You can imagine that. This is something you can visualize in your practice. Wow, I feel myself so grateful right now. And can I tell you that this is someone I would go to for counseling? I certainly would. First of all, he's a shaman, so he wouldn't, flinch when I would talk about astrology or anything. I've had counselors that I just knew I couldn't say words like that with. I've had counselors that I would talk about astrology and ritual and stuff, and I would feel a wall come up, and it's like, yeah, so what? I still trust you. And then I've had counselors where I can fully talk about all of it because they are there for it. And this guy would be there for it, and his messages are so valid and they so resonate. I recommend this deck 100%, hands down. This is one of the easiest decks I've ever read with. It's comforting. It's so comforting to feel the ease with which this deck gives up its secrets. The variety of artwork is amazing too. So yeah, I'm going to list all these artists for you guys. And it would be worth going through. Sorry, got vacuum sealed there. It would be worth going through, because each of these artists, if they have, a website, it's here. And I would be very interested in looking up these artists to see what other decks they have worked on, because I bet you they have. I bet you anything. And besides that, it's fucking art, Look at all of this resource here to spend time going through beautiful artwork. Wow, I got blown away this morning. I strive to have my mind blown at least once a day. Shaking up your brain, giving it ways for new synapses to form. It's also a way, having parents that suffered from dementia and grandparents that suffered from vascular dementia. This is one of the ways that I look at, I am forestalling dementia, is I'm going to keep learning and stretching my brain as long as is humanly possible for me. I'm going to keep creating new synapses and keep my brain plastic as long as I possibly can. So I hope you have a great day. I hope you got something out of this reading. I don't know how you couldn't. This deck is definitely going to be showing up. I think this deck is going to be there for my Wednesday live stream. Absolutely. We are bringing this deck in because, wow, it doesn't just get any easier than that. We like easy. And when you're a reader, doing readings shouldn't be like pulling teeth, you know? So this is how you can tell you have a deck that is matched with you, is that there's an ease of readings. It's the sense of, rather than this card is telling me something, it's this card is triggering something in me. This card is triggering my own wisdom and facilitating the flow of that wisdom. So, wow, have a great day, you guys. Get outside, breathe some fresh air, you know, keep your hands washed and your mask on, and keep yourselves absolutely safe. Please do whatever you can politically to help lift our vibration and move our culture forward. I feel so positive now after reading this deck, and I've needed that. So today we breach into shaking up the status quo and entering into a new phase and things becoming more active and clear. I hope your day is the same. I pray for you every single morning. I'm grateful for you, my viewers, that you keep showing up here. And if you want to, you can donate below, or you can send me a gift deck. And if you do that, I will do a personal reading for you with that deck, which I'm sure, you know, that's a bonus, right? Okay, I will be here tomorrow for another unboxing, and here Wednesday for a live stream. Until I see you tomorrow, this is Luna the Zen Witch. Blessed be, my friends.